Hello everyone and welcome back to another Questions of Life. Today's question is posed by a Warbor and it will be overlaid by some Dark Souls 2 gameplay. I am well on my way to beating Dark Souls 2, so by the next next week, I should have it beaten and you will see Bloodborne gameplay as the overlaid game for that week. So, in any event, a Warbor's question is, what thing do you find difficult that other people find easy? And I have two things that I find difficult that other people find easy. One of them is a bit hard for me to put into a single word, so I'm going to leave it in this kind of a weird description, but it is being at ease with incompleteness. So, imagine you're going through an area, and this area has a lot of, jutting out corners, it has, a bunch of different areas, so on, so forth. And maybe you conjecture, you conjecture that this path over here leads down this other corridor to somewhere else. And say, for instance, this is the first time you played the game, and you've just been kind of looking at your map and going, oh, hey, I'm gonna make this conjecture so I don't have to go down this way. And then you continue on with the game, and you never go down that path because you think that's gonna lead to a dead end or somewhere that you don't need to go. See, my problem here is that I don't do that. I go down that hallway. I want to 100% complete my map. I want to check everything. I need to check everything. It's kind of an obsession ever since I've played Resident Evil 4. I've been playing games for the longest time, ever since I've played Pokemon. 100% completing an entire area, making sure that I have explored every little bit so I know where everything is, so the next time I go through it or whatever, or go through a walkthrough or something, that I know for a certain fact what's down there. Rather than just believing that, oh hey, it's fine. I can leave that as incomplete. Another example, too, is with coding. A Warbor, Uchiha, Tigger as well. The four of us, we play a Pokemon free-for-all every Sunday. Well, we used to, and then Warbor's DS died because the battery just wouldn't hold a charge for the life of it. So, we'd play free-for-alls, and I coded up a program that would randomly roll Pokemon and have a whole bunch of other fun features and whatnot with the thing. But for me to have done all that, I needed to check, everything. I needed to make sure that all of the code was rock solid, and there was no way that this code could possibly break. And then when I go to update it, it breaks, and then I'm like, oh shit. Now I have to go and check everything, and I go through every little motion and make sure that everything is working correctly. Because that's just the kind of person that I am. But I would really... It takes up a lot of time, too. Because going through and debugging and testing all of that stuff is just... Oh, it took up, a good portion of my night after that last Sunday when we free-for-all beat each other up. Took up a good portion. But having that kind of, that mindset to be okay with, just conjecture and being like, oh, hey, I don't need to check this area. That would save me a whole bunch of time. That would be something that I find difficult to do because there's a nagging part of me that says, no, you have to, you son of a bitch. You want this to be thorough, don't you? Etc., etc. So anyways, that was that particular thing that other people do that I find really difficult to comprehend or to do myself. Another thing is multitasking. I hate doing multitasking, first of all, mainly because I'm super bad at it, because I can't split my mind into two different things and focus on one thing and then focus on this other thing, because I like to whole-ass one thing and be really good at that one thing, rather than half-assing two things or more, and then, giving a 75% job on those two things. This is why I absolutely hate gank boss fights in Dark Souls. Especially Dark Souls 2, because that's literally just gank boss after gank boss after gank boss. Some of the fights I found really good, actually. Like Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. I had a lot of fun with that one, mainly because the run-up was super good, and it was a one-on-one fight. I didn't have to focus on anything else other than just him and maybe his nasty fart gas that he would just blow up all over the arena. But that fight I found perfectly fair and fine and fun. The Fume Knight found super fun and fair too, because it was a one-on-one, the run-up was fine, and it was just me and him, and we were duking it out, sword v sword, etc., etc. But I can't. Don't know how some people can multitask. Like they can focus on like the one thing in front of them, and then go, oh hey, that guy's gonna come and jump at me, and then dodge out of the way in just in time. Like, what? How did you even see that? I'm like focused on this one thing, and like suddenly this out of nowhere, like an arrow comes and flies at me in my face, and like, where did that come from? Like, shit. That's where this enemy that I wasn't focused on because I'm taking care of priority number 1 here. Yeah, so that I find pretty difficult. Another thing along those lines too is rhythm games. Some people, at the very least, most people can play rhythm games at normal because most games are made to be accessible for everyone, usually, especially mobile games. But rhythm games are pretty accessible to most people. I can't play rhythm games with my life. My mind does this thing where like it prepares. Like I have to prepare for the thing that's coming up, but when there's too many things that I can't see coming up, I'm like I can't do it because I'll hit like maybe 3 notes in Guitar Hero and be like, oh, fantastic, I did it, and then there's like 5 more notes coming in. I'm like, shit, I have to hit those too. Fuck, and then I panic and then my mind and then I just break down. Just can't do it. So that's another thing that I can't do. Multitasking and being at ease with incompleteness. I can't do those 2 things. A lot of people can, and I don't see how. In any event, though, that has been my answer to A Wilbur's question. Now remember, try fast, take chances.